accident, but maybe I could have prevented it. Okay, there's no way I could have prevented it. I really was being careful, really careful. It was a mere slip of the feet. Oh, what a waste of a life. I have a wife and children who will be so worried about me. My wife. Oh, my wife. Oh, surely she'll know something's wrong when I never return from the farm. We will have no bread today. We will have no bread any day. None of the rest of the family is agriculturally trained. They can't make bread for themselves. They'll have to resort to store-bought bread. Ugh. Store-bought bread. And the children. My wife will have the wholly undesirable duty of telling our children that now they are only her children, that their father has gone away somewhere, forever, on accident. Oh, they will be crushed. Oh, it pains me to think of the agony that it will cause to my children. Wait, hold on. Why haven't I hit the ground yet? This hole is peculiarly deep. Is it possible for a hole to be so deep that you can fall for well over a minute and never hit the ground? I mean, gravity makes falling things accelerate at a rate of 9.8 meters per second squared, right? So if I've been falling at that rate for this long, how deep is this hole? Wait, I don't even know where the ground is yet. By the time I figure it out, it'll be too late for me to figure it out. Not that it would even matter. What was my initial velocity? Surely I'd have to insert that into the equation. Now I really wish I had taken that job as a high school physics teacher. But I ironed out my knowledge of physics a bit. Well, at any rate, it doesn't matter how deep this hole is. It's too deep. Too deep for me to survive whenever the ground decides to show up. Yep, that's the answer. Too deep to dodge a desolate destiny. Relatively satisfying, but cripplingly fatalistic. I mean, perhaps there is hope. Perhaps this hole is bottomless. Yes! I find that answer far more satisfying. As long as I convince myself that there is positively no end to this hole, and as long as I keep my head away from the walls, then my inevitable death, which evidently should be remarkably quick, will be a lot less intimidating. Yes, I have much more security in that thought. As long as I admit this hole is bottomless, then my fall, which, let's be honest for a moment, is certainly limited according to rudimentary laws of physics. It'll take my life quicker than it will take me to notice that anything hurts. Wait, but if this hole is bottomless, then it still maintains an undesirable fate for me. Not dying, but falling. I'm not sentenced to a quick death. I'm sentenced to an eternal fall. The former may actually be better for me. Oh, what a waste of a life. Unless... who am I kidding? There's no way that I have the muscular capacity necessary to endure the amount of climbing it takes to pull myself up out of this hole. I mean, we're coming up on what, 5 minutes by now? And every minute I spend falling is another hour trying to get back up. But on the other hand, that means that if I start now, then the climb will be a whole lot shorter than if I start later. I mean, we're not talking days of climbing, just hours. Just about a quarter of one day, in fact. I could do it, right? I mean, maybe if I believe in myself, then I can do it. All the movies tell me to do that, and magical things happen when the protagonist does it. He overcomes the obstacle he's facing, literal or figurative, and then immediately walks over to his true love like a stud. She says something to set up his clever, triumphant remark with a sweet smile and welcoming eye contact. He executes said remark, smooth as a mango. And looks into her eyes with the same brand of triumph he came over with. He looks into her eyes, and she looks into his. He looks at her lips, and she looks at his. And they move closer, with the same smiles, sharing the triumph, and complete the circle of contact. Everyone cheers as an invisible concert band completes the sweet moment and everything fades to black, obscuring the amount of time the couple actually spent kissing. Then she slaps him! And furrowing her eyebrows as close to vertically as possible, she yells, "What were you thinking? How many times have I told you to watch your step in that blasted barn? Or to give it up altogether, as I recall. You had me worried thick. Not to mention that Mark, Carol, and Miguel are all actually sick. You know, our children. The ones who, despite your financial inadequacy, you thought were a splendid idea." And they are splendid children, don't get me wrong. But you know what's not splendid? The fact that we are literally unable to afford to keep them well. And why is that, some may ask? Oh, well, it's because my allegedly intelligent husband decided to randomly start a farm that nobody buys produce from. Not to mention he turned down a real job as a high school physics teacher for it. And so, because the twisted reach of consumerism has extended to necessities for life such as medicine, capitalism, and who else? Oh yeah, you have rendered us unable to keep our sickly children out of the blood circle of the black, fearful sight of the health reaper. That doesn't happen with these. I'm probably overanalyzing. She'll probably run into a tight, desperate hug with me and, sobbing, mutter something along the lines of, "I was worried sick. Please be more careful. I don't want to lose you. I love you so much." That's if I ever reach the beginning of this hole. There are three possible ends to this situation. There is a bottom, and I die. There is no bottom, and my life is over. Or I try to get back up, and inevitably fail. Because now that I think about it, if my initial velocity was 0 meters per second and my acceleration rate is 9.8 meters per second squared, and I've been falling for 100 seconds, considering that that's not the end of the fall, my new velocity is 980 meters per second and counting. And I've been falling for hundreds of seconds, which means I'm probably going 980 meters per second right now. So I must logically conclude that contact with the wall of this hole with any part of my body is the end of that part of my body. So there's literally no way I can get back up. So, even if this hole is bottomless, I'm going to die. Soon. Somehow. Whether from hunger or thirst or old age. Well, that's comforting. Bottomless holes were a dumb idea. Whoever invented one should be thrown into one himself. See how he likes it. I mean, what problem could this invention possibly solve? What a useless invention. It's the worst kind of invention. One that doesn't solve any problems. Never mind. The worst kind of invention is the one that is, in fact, the problem that needs an invention to solve it. And so, therefore, I must logically conclude that the bottomless hole is positively the worst kind of invention. create a bottomless hole other than psychopathy or simple idiocy. Although, I must say, it is impressive. I mean, whoever invented this squared up with the most elementary laws of physics and won. I would personally withhold any medal from the inventor on the grounds of its sheer uselessness, but recognition, I would ensure he gets some kind of recognition just for the boldness to stick his tongue out to physics and the discipline to create a bottomless hole. This is some sci-fi stuff right here. You know what? Color me impressed, despite all the flack I gave him. Perhaps he used sorcery, I don't know. However he got to a result, he got to a tangible result, which is enough for some kind of recognition. Perhaps I should just take some time to soak it all in. I haven't done that yet. After all, I have the privilege of being the guinea pig for the most revolutionary invention in the history of physics. That's certainly something. What a remarkable creation. What a spectacle of nature. And just looking around at it must be a humanist heaven. Granted, all I can see is darkness, but the fact that somebody created a hole so deep that you can fall eternally in it, that's spectacular. How long have I been rambling on to myself about this hole? I still haven't hit the ground yet. How long have I been falling? How long do I have left? That leads me to the fact that I'm inevitably going to die down here. I heard that it takes less time to die from thirst than from hunger. I wonder how long it takes to die from thirst. Like a week, tops? There are 7 days in a week, and there are 24 hours in a day, and there are 4 15-minute periods in an hour. So let's say that I've been falling for 15 minutes. I just have to figure out the number of 15-minute periods it takes to get to a week. And then you get the time that I can, you get the time until I can die. Yes. Okay, so there are 4 15-minute periods in an hour. You multiply that by 24, you get the amount of 15-minute periods in a day. That's 96. If you multiply that by 7, then you get the amount of times I have to fall this long until I can die, which is... 672. Well, I guess 671 more to go then. I'm bored. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Erwin the Multiverse Genie.
What does that mean?
It is understandable that you do not know what that means. The historical roots of the name Erwin lie in the Anglo-Saxon, Scottish, and Irish people, possibly originating from the Middle English first name, which furthermore comes from a similar Old English first name from the 600s AD, the Eofor wine, consisting of the word for wild boar, Eofor, and the word for bread, wine.
I didn't mean to ask for the etymology of your name. I mean, you're a genie, right? So why did you have to come out right now?
Well, why did you release me?
I did not know you were in there. And I don't even need 3 wishes. All my wishes are about to come true already. What?
Look, I have 2 things to tell you. One, I'm not that kind of genie. I'm a multiverse genie.
Multiverse?
Everything you are physically able to see, that's what you would call the observable universe. But everything that can possibly happen, even every outcome you can imagine, happens in another universe. I know what happens in which universe, and I can transcend these universes.
Wait, so there's a universe where she says no?
That's the other thing I need to tell you. You are currently in that universe.
Oh, what? Surely not. I mean, look at how happy she looks.
Yes, she's covering her mouth in shock and crying. The epitome of the nation. You know that people also do that when they see their loved one get hit by a truck?
Guess that's a valid point.
But have no fear, that's what I'm here for.
You can make her say yes?
Well, I can't make anybody do anything. But theoretically, I could transport you to another universe in which she says yes.
Okay, so for my first wish, I wish for you to take me to that universe.
It's not quite that simple. I don't do wishes, I'm a multiverse genie.
What do you do then?
But once I'm released from the bonds of this dimension, aka that ring box, I am able to say cheerio and go to another dimension. The catch is that I don't actually get to choose which one. It's completely random. And I can only do it 10 times before it locks in and we have to stay in the universe that we haven't caught.
So, what does that mean for me?
Well, you have 2 choices. One, you can either doubt me and lock in this universe, or you can go ahead with the 10 chances. There's a seemingly infinite amount of universes in which she says yes, so we're bound to happen on one of them.
Wait, how many universes are there where she says no?
A seemingly infinite amount. But I would not advise staying, because I'm pretty sure that this universe involves you having to amputate a few of your own limbs as well. I don't remember how you got to that point, but I imagine it's quite terrifying.
Are you sure about this?
Pretty sure.
Okay, I guess I'll try another universe.
Splendid idea. Cheerio!
Whoa, that was such a weird moment.
Exciting, right? Transcending universes is invigorating.
Wait, but everything is so frozen in place. And where's the ring box?
It's right here. I figured you would use it. You're on one knee by this point. When you're ready for everything to get going again, just say play.
Wait, where will you be?
So many questions. If you need me back, just call my name.
Okay. Play. So, Carmen, will you marry me?
I've been meaning to talk to you about that.
What?
See, I kind of knew you were doing this for a while now, and you're a great guy, don't get me wrong. I'm just not feeling it. I'm sure you're going to make some girl really happy someday, but that girl just isn't me.
Erwin!
Who's Erwin?
The multiverse genie, Erwin!
I told you I don't like being called merely Erwin. Erwin was my father. I have a full name. I am Erwin the Multiverse Genie.
You never told me that.
Either way, I guess you were close enough. Just call me Erwin the Multiverse Genie next time.
Fine. I didn't realize it was such a big deal to you.
Oh, don't be blue. We still have 9 other chances. chances to happen upon another universe.
But what if I never find myself in the universe? She says yes.
That's the thing.
What? What's the thing? Don't tell me.
I kind of confused that last universe we were in with this one, or a similar one, and
She said yes in the last one, didn't she?
I'm afraid so. But not to worry. Due to further confusion on my part, I was actually right about the amputation thing in the last universe. You did yourself a favor. That did not sound fun.
Fine, let's just get this over with. Next universe.
Right then. Cheerio! I believe you have your ring box. Have fun.
Play. So, Carmen, will you marry me?
Do I know you?
What?
Is this some sort of prank show? Okay, where are the hidden cameras?
It's me and Richard. We've been dating for over a year.
I don't think so, buddy.
It's Erwin!
This guy's crazy.
Erwin the Multiverse Genie!
It's Erwin the Multiverse Genie. You have to have that ending part or else it doesn't make sense.
Alright, fine, got it. Erwin the Multiverse Genie. Next universe.
Cheerio.
Oh, this universe looks promising. She's just like how we found her in the first one. Play.
Will you marry me?
What?
Sexist?
What's your name?
I'm tired of the stereotype that men are supposed to propose to women. What does it give you? Some sort of a sense of power? Women can be powerful. We're powerful enough to give birth to children. Why do you always think I'm so weak? Men always think I'm so weak. Am I right, ladies?
Erwin the Multiverse Genie! What was that?
In this universe, Carmen is a passionate feminist activist.
How many chances do I have left?
7. I'm 100% sure of that.
Are you sure?
Did you hear what I just said?
Fine, next universe.
Cheerio!
Why do you keep saying that?
Again, I have to say that in order to go to the next universe. Also in this universe, your name is Carmen and her name is Richard.
What? Next universe.
Cheerio!
Okay, what about this universe? Oh, what happened to my voice? Why do I have long hair? What's going on?
In this universe, you are Carmen and she is Richard.
But I was Carmen in the last universe.
No, your name was Carmen, but you were still technically Richard. In this universe, you are Carmen.
Ew, this feels so weird. Cheerio, cheerio.
Last time I checked, you are not Richard the Multiverse. Or should I say Carmen the Multiverse Genie?
Not funny. Next universe.
Cheerio! In this universe, your proposal is the scene of a play in which you are watching a play in which all the characters are audience members watching a play.
You can't do this. How many chances do I have left?
I get the memorandum. You have 4 left. Cheerio!
Alright, where's the ring box?
You lost it.
What?
You lost it in this universe.
You've got to be kidding me.
Next universe?
Yes, of course.
Alright, cheerio.
Alright, do you have the ring box?
No, you do.
Yeah. Play.
It's just so hard to love someone when you know they're gonna leave in the end.
What are you talking about?
I can't do it, Richard. I'll never love again.
No, I was just about to propose to you.
What? Why? You know I was talking about Tommy.
Who's Tommy?
My love. And you're supposed to be my best friend. You can't sneak this sort of thing up on people.
Erwin the Multiverse Genie! This is also confusing.
I'm sorry, sir. But on the bright side, you still have 2 more chances.
Guess so. Next universe then.
Surely this is the one. Cheerio!
What's that horrible feeling in my stomach?
Food poisoning from your prior meal. Carmen already died from it by this point.
What? Am I gonna die too?
Most likely, very soon. Would you like me to take you to the last universe?
No, I think I want to continue suffering from this horrible sickness. Wait for the results. And of course I want you to take me to the next universe.
But remember, you're going to be locked into the next universe.
Well, it can't be any worse than this.
Right then. Cheerio! Did I also mention that there's a universe in which none of this ever happened because neither of you ever existed?